What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So typically I don't really do a lot of Cosmic Wonder stuff, but he's got a lot of good information over there. So I'm gonna start reacting to his stuff and just kind of getting a little bit more, info on what's going on out there, because there's certain things that I don't do, and especially if you guys are okay with me doing it. So we have got some huge news for about Jonathan Majors. Apparently there has been a huge update, and there's talks about him being out of the MCU. Now, you guys know I don't know much about the whole MCU and things like that. Of course, I have you guys to help me out and help me understand that, but we're gonna go ahead and see what he has to say and what this huge update is. Let's go ahead and check this out.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and it's been a while since we've heard anything about Jonathan Majors,
Right.
his court case, and where he currently stands as an actor, and where he currently stands with Marvel Studios. As it stands right now, he still is in jeopardy of being recast as Kang the Conqueror. Marvel Studios is considering this, and they actually have made a decision about a Disney Plus project that is a pretty big sign and indicator of where their heads are currently at right now.
One thing I will have to say, now again, I am not into the technicalities of what's behind, like the real in-depth stuff that you guys are into. I want to try to kind of learn a little bit more, so I do need your help. But in terms of him being recasted as King, I think that is just, and this is just me speaking as a fan who has seen the movies, who knows a little bit about what's going on, and him being somewhat of a breakout actor, because he played the heck out of that role. Playing as Kang, he played the heck out of that role, and there's another one coming. And it just wouldn't feel right or even be right recasting him. Or I understand that business-wise, you have to make sure that you are, you have some type of backup in case something happens. But in this case, the fact that it's being considered without even having any evidence of what is going on and what, like, we haven't heard anything. Like, he is still, in my opinion, he is still innocent until proven guilty. And the fact that he is losing out on all this stuff, and the talks are up of him being written out and things like that, like, this is just, I don't think that's fair. But I digress. Let's carry on.
Regarding the situation that Jonathan Majors is in. If you aren't familiar with the situation, Jonathan Majors was recently arrested a couple of months ago, and he was charged with several cases of assault. Now, Jonathan Majors was released pretty immediately, and his lawyer came out immediately stating that he was actually the victim in the situation and was not the one assaulting the other person. So far, they have provided witnesses testifying that no, Jonathan Majors did not assault the woman that he is being accused of assaulting right now, and they have actually provided video footage and some photos of the woman he allegedly assaulted at a nightclub right after the incident occurred, when Jonathan Majors was in jail. They
gotta cut him off again. There is evidence out there. Like, we have seen, I think I've seen a few clips of the girl apparently at a club, drinking, dancing, having a great time. Didn't even look distressed at that point, unless there was some type of distress and she was trying to drink her way through it. Who knows? But in any case, in a situation like this, where you are, having huge claims on an actor like this of assault, I wouldn't have been out partying at the club. So that doesn't look good on her end. But the fact that there is evidence, that there is said evidence that he did not do these things, I want to see that evidence. I want them to put it out there. But the fact, even despite the fact that there's evidence out there, like, you've got all these companies cutting him out, and he's losing all of this money, and his career is basically torn apart before it even takes off, really. And again, not fair. But I digress. Let's carry on.
had their first court case already in May, but they did not come to a decision at that point in time. Both sides simply presented their cases, their evidence, their facts, their figures. And Jonathan Majors' team said that they have provided substantial evidence to prove that he is indeed not guilty of this alleged assault. However, of course, the court ruling has not been made yet, and he still very well could be found guilty of assault. And of course, nobody truly knows what happened, so we are just simply awaiting for the court date. Now, in the meantime, Jonathan Majors has lost a lot already. He's lost some of his management team, his PR team. He was in an ad for the military, and they have pulled that ad and no longer show it. The same thing goes for some other promotions that he was in. He has reportedly lost a movie deal, and of course, as it stands right now, he is in jeopardy of losing his role as Kang the Conqueror. And today's news and what Marvel Studios has recently done is a huge indicator that if Jonathan Majors is found guilty, they will 100% replace him as Kang the Conqueror. They will get a new actor to come in and play Kang the Conqueror. In fact, some things that Marvel Studios has done with Loki Season 2 have indicated that they are indeed prepared for this, or maybe have even made up their mind already. One thing that they have recently done is in relations to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. For each project that comes out, whether it's a movie or show, Marvel Studios typically releases the Assembled special. This comes out on Disney Plus and really goes into the making of the project. Well, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania's Assembled special was already set to debut on Wednesday, June 14th, this past week. However, they have delayed this indefinitely. Indefinitely meaning for an unlimited or unspecified period of time, basically stating that it could never come out. Now, they did this because of everything that's going on right now with Jonathan Majors. They don't want to release this and promote him even more, or show him behind the scenes right now when he is being accused of assault. It's an unfortunate and very sticky situation that Marvel Studios is in right now. And also, like I mentioned, we don't know, but if Jonathan Majors is innocent, it is a very unfortunate situation that he is in as well. Now, what's really interesting is that Marvel Studios apparently did not originally plan on Kang the Conqueror being the big bad of the entire multiverse saga. But apparently, when they saw Jonathan Majors in Loki Season 1 as He Who Remains and started doing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, they decided, this is it. He's amazing at Kang the Conqueror. Kang is going to be an incredible villain. We're going to make him this huge multiversal threat. So apparently that wasn't the plan in the beginning, but it became the plan. So it really is quite a sticky situation Marvel Studios is in. However, the very weird and odd, fortunate part of this entire situation is that this is happening in the multiverse saga. So if they do decide to replace Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, it's actually not that hard to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I wish this all wasn't happening. I think the performance from Jonathan Majors as Kang was simply amazing. But unfortunately for him, it's not exactly that hard to write him out, and based off of some reports that we've heard from some insiders in the past, it seems like Marvel Studios might have already gone and done that, or at least are prepared for anything to happen at this point. We've heard that there have been Loki Season 2 reshoots, and this came after Loki had apparently already wrapped, and this also came after the allegations against Jonathan Majors and the first court date. So this really does seem like it was a precaution for Marvel Studios to have in play in case they do decide to go the route of replacing him. Now, what's really interesting is that his next court date was supposed to be on June 13th. However, we haven't had any updates about this at all. We don't even know if it actually took place on June 13th or maybe it was pushed back to a different date. What we do know is that the next day, Quantumania's Assembled was supposed to come out and it was delayed indefinitely. So perhaps something did happen during that court date, or perhaps they simply pushed it back and Marvel Studios is still waiting. Now, when it comes to replacing Jonathan Majors as Kang, while the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania post-credit scene made it kind of difficult, it's not that difficult. You could simply bring in another actor to play Kang the Conqueror and state, well, he is simply a different variant of Kang, and this is the main Kang that we have to deal with. The Jonathan Majors version of Kang and the other Jonathan Majors versions of Kang, they're simply different variants, but lesser variants. Loki Season 1 and Spider-Man No Way Home showed us that variants don't always have to look the same. Even if they are the same person, all three Spider-Mans didn't look the same, and Sylvie is a female version of Loki. Plus, not to mention, we saw many other variants of Loki, including an alligator variant. So the reshoots for Loki Season 2 at the end could very well be pretty simplistic. And keep in mind that insider Alex P. from thecosmiccircus.com did say that we will find out the fate of Jonathan Majors' version of Kang at the end of Loki Season 2, further backing this up. And if the reshoots were indeed to get him out, it's not that hard to introduce a new actor, because they can simply kill off this other variant of Kang, who is Jonathan Majors, and state that that was simply one of the lower variants of Kang. He wasn't a high-ranking Kang, he wasn't a part of the council, he was actually pretty weak as far as technology is concerned, and bring in this new actor and say that this is actually the prime Kang. This is actually the major threat, the threat out of all of the Kangs out there. Then, of course, depending on what they wanted to do with the Council of Kangs, they could simply just replace him and really not even have to say anything about it. Once you introduce this new main Kang, then you can just simply change the other variants to look like him. So, unfortunately, but fortunately, it's not that hard to do. Unfortunate for Jonathan Majors, but fortunate that Marvel Studios can do this if it does come to that. And like I said in the beginning, if the court does rule him guilty, they will absolutely do this. That has been proven by what they've done with the assembled Disney Plus special. They've delayed it indefinitely, and we don't even know the results yet. So, if he actually is found guilty, they're not going to release that, and they're not going to have him continue on as Kang in the MCU. And I do hope that if he is found innocent, they are considering the option of keeping him. Of course, some studios do decide to get rid of some actors when they get involved in some scandals, just because they don't want the negative association with that scandal. I hope that's not something Marvel Studios is considering. If there is legitimate evidence out there that proves that he is innocent, I would hope that they would keep him. Because like I said, I think he has done an excellent job. Of course, it's a very tricky situation. Let us know your thoughts down below about how you feel about it. Let us know what you think about simply replacing Jonathan Majors as the actor that plays Kang and bringing in a new one and having him be the main Kang from here on out. Let us know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. We pick one winner at the end of each month, and the winner gets to pick one item. We also do post exclusive content on Patreon. We have a website and Discord as well. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Alright, so, like I said, I don't get into the technicalities of the whole MCU and the multiverses and all this stuff. That's what you guys are here for, to help me out and educate me and help me along so I can be taught. But here's the thing, as a fan, as just a person, I don't think it's fair to make any moves, really, until the verdict is in. A lot of these companies have jumped the gun, in my opinion, and have pulled him from things without even knowing whether, you know, he's guilty or not. And considering that there are talks of there being evidence that he is not guilty, with that being said, I still feel like, again, he is innocent until proven guilty. I understand the thought process of having a backup in case something does go wrong. As a business, I get it. It's unfortunate that they can switch him out because it's in a different universe. So, you know, we've seen this with all Marvel movies. Like, they can switch him out. They can switch him out and say, hey, yeah, that was a different one. This is from this universe, or that person's from this universe, you know. But I think that, you know, the fact that there was a court date that happened, the fact that they may have already taken him out of Loki, which I haven't watched yet, by the way. All these things. Now, what's going to happen if and when he is, you know, not guilty? Is he just going to be left out in the dirt with nothing else? No, you know, offers to come back? Like, he's lost a lot of money, a lot of opportunities. I feel like we don't even know what's going on. Like, if there was a court date, like he said, like maybe they did, you know, push it back because of something happening, or they pushed it back because they want to wait to see what happened with this past court date, or they are trying to wait until the verdict is in to fully replace him. I think he did an amazing job as Kang. I don't even know who else can come in to take that place and to give us what he gave us in that character. I think he literally, like, to me, he was probably the best part of Ant-Man Quantumania. But, you know, it's interesting to know that they can, you know, switch him out, considering what happens when you know, in the post-credit scene and things like that. But I just think it's so unfair that he was pulled for so many different things, and he's currently still going to court. I understand pushing stuff back or maybe pulling things until a later date, but completely replacing him and pulling him off of what is hearsay at this point, because it is just hearsay. We don't know anything. There is no verdict. He is innocent until proven guilty. He's going to court. If there was any type of assault, in my opinion, this is kind of tricky, because you can have backlash from keeping him in, and you can have a lot of backlash from taking him out, because people like what they like. You brought someone in here who blew the character out the water, and to just kind of see somebody else not give us what he gave us, it may take us out of it. You never know. You know what I mean? But I just hope that justice is served either way. Whether if he is found guilty, I hope that he learned his lesson. I hope that he gets the help that he needs. I hope that this is a lesson learned and that he can pick up the pieces and either start over or keep going, or have a new management team that can help him rebuild. And if he is not guilty, then I hope that justice is served for him and the people who have pulled him and replaced him and have taken all of these things away from him. Offer him work. Offer him these roles back in. Offer him an apology and let him and give him the opportunity to redeem himself. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion as a fan. Let me know what you guys think. I really enjoyed this, and I'm going to do more Cosmic Wanderer stuff, because you know, I know Tyrone does it a lot. I hear it a lot, but he's got some good stuff. He's got some good stuff. But anyway, leave your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on what's going on with Jonathan Majors. Whether you're indifferent, you're not, you agree, you disagree, I definitely want to hear your opinions. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later.